Cathy Zell, and I'm one of your sidekicks from The Edge with Donna and Cathy. Thank you so much for watching us every day, Monday through Friday, beginning at 1 o'clock Central Time for you folks who live out in California or New York or wherever you're living from, anywhere in the world, because you can find us anywhere. You can go to local programming, which is channel 182 on Charter Communications, and then you can also find us on Abundant TV, which is found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Again, thank you so much for watching. Cathy, you got a great topic for us today.
And Facebook too, Donna. Did you mention Facebook?
You just did.
Yes. Because a lot of people watch us on Facebook because they're on the go, so they can watch us on their phones,
Yeah, all the social media, you can find all kinds of social media sites as well.
There is so much going on in the world right now. And the biggest thing that I hear everybody talking about, especially my children, is how can we save some money, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm in that. And of course, I have been most of my life anyway. You've been divorced too, right? And
Yep,
so we've
years
had to
ago.
kind of make it on our own. And
Yes.
so, but anyway, these are some tips. A lot of us, both of us have done these several times. So if you want to go ahead and fire it away at number one.
Okay, now, and before we even start, I'll tell you where you can go to. You can find this on Healthline on the internet. Actually, I found it through Facebook, and because sometimes they have some really good articles, and also Newsbreak. I actually pull up some of their articles, and this is Healthline, and you can subscribe to this company. I'm not a subscriber, but sometimes I read their articles, and this one was a pretty good one. 10 ways to lower your grocery bill as prices increase. And we're all feeling the effects of inflation right now, especially at the grocery store, because most items are up 12% from last year. And also it talks about how some staples are even higher than that. Eggs, beef, and milk, a lot of those are up even more. And a 12% increase, Donna, in your grocery bill, that is like, instead of spending $500 at the grocery store, you're spending $560 at the grocery store. So that's a lot of money, and it adds up. I know when I'm doing my grocery list, if you want to say, a lot of times I do it online. It's the first one on this list, which is making a plan. It's hard sometimes to do this, but making a grocery list helps you avoid impulse purchases. And that's really important, especially if you go inside the store to shop. And if you're hungry, that's not a good time to go shopping.
Never works out. I'm going to grab that Snickers bar.
No, that's never a good time. And also, when you're making your grocery list, their suggestion is try to have a plan. Have you a little menu plan, like for breakfast and lunches, so you know exactly what you're buying, so you can put it on your grocery list. And that leads us to number two.
Yeah, and I really like this one because, and you should really like it because I know you're picky about food. So it says be picky with produce. And I got a couple more things I'm going to add to this list, okay? But this is what it says. Now, I'm not a dietitian, but the person who wrote this article is, and this is again from healthline.com. So as a dietitian, she says, I always like for people to eat fruits and veggies. These foods may seem expensive, but they're a waste of $1 and still get the fill with nutrition that the produce does provide. So choosing frozen is one good way. Frozen peas to me are as good as peas you get right off the vine. And so canned or dried fruits and vegetables is a great way to save money and still get vitamins, the mineral. You got to think about fiber, antioxidants into your diet. So look for options that are lower in added sugars and salt, okay, because that's what can get you too. Consider wrapping out are swapping out for more expensive fruit or vegetable with something cheaper. So, like turn cabbage into slaw instead of mixed green salad to save. Use onions instead of shallots in a soup recipe, or try frozen berries instead of fresh ones in a smoothie. Actually, a smoothie's better using the frozen veggies and the whatever fruits that you might have available. Also, make sure you actually eat what you buy. Sometimes you bought something, you just left it in the fridge, and then it starts getting molded.
And then your
Make sure
heart
you eat
drops.
it,
Yes.
especially with the high cost of things nowadays. So that's another reason that frozen or canned produce is really a good thing to do. But use up your delicate produce first so you don't wind up throwing that money away. Also, try or adding anything that's about to go bad, like your soups and your fried rice or your eggs, especially your eggs. Have you seen the price of eggs? My
I
goodness, I'm
know.
glad we have girls. I'm glad we got chins
Oh,
because it's
yeah.
incredible.
When's the last time you bought eggs in a store?
It's been a while, but I've
Yeah.
seen them. I've seen the prices of eggs, and every time I see them, I'm like, "Thank you, Jesus, that we got these chickens here." But I've got another idea for you. You can go to the Albertville Foodland Plus, and you can do this with other grocery stores as well. So if you find something, there's a little cart. Typically, it's going to be
Mhm.
right as you walk in the front door. Usually, it's going to be right as you walk in the cart that's full of maybe fruits, vegetables, or whatever. It's you can still eat it, but you can go ahead and buy those, especially bananas. They're going to be really, really ripe. And ripe bananas are the best banana bread. So just
Oh,
put
yeah.
peeling everything into the freezer and keep until you can kind of get to it, and then it'd be a good breakfast food. Yeah, I mean, this is an awesome thing to do. And then produce. Sometimes you can buy it in bulk and it's fresh. But if you buy it in bulk, why don't you go on ahead and divide what you think you're going to eat right now, and then put the rest on a cookie sheet, put it in the freezer for about 30 minutes, take it out, put it in a really, really good brown bag or freezer bag, and then you'll have some fruit next time you need it. And so you bought it in bulk, you saved money, and it's in the freezer.
Well, Donna, I know. I hope we look back on some of our shows and the prices of things have really gone down tremendously one day, like maybe 6 months or a year from now. We're going to look back at these shows and hopefully prices will be down, because actually, sometimes I do the little ads, like we're talking about coupons. That's actually the next one. Search for
Mhm.
sales, right? A lot of
Mhm.
times, a grocery store that's near me, I go online to do my list. And a lot of times I will go in the grocery store and buy things because it's so much cheaper sometimes than those apps are.
Mhm.
But a lot of times on those apps, you
Mhm.
can catch things really good prices. Like they have a lot of
Uh-huh.
times Petridge Farm sourdough bread, which I love, and it's
Mhm.
expensive if you're buying it one loaf. But a lot of
Mhm.
times they have buy one, get one free. And that's a good buy. That's only $2.50 a loaf. And you can freeze
Mhm.
bread till you need it, right?
Uh-huh.
So
Absolutely.
sometimes
Yeah.
sometimes that's the ticket right there. Buying in,
Mhm.
as they call it, bulk, that helps, because if it's buy one get one free, you could buy four and freeze two of them if you have a freezer that's big enough to do that. I do
Mhm.
not, but I do. I
Mhm.
can put one loaf in my freezer, by the fridge, and then I just pull it out. In 2 weeks, when that loaf's
Mhm.
gone, I pull out the next one, and of course, you can't go by the expiration date. Then at that point, you just go by the texture. You make sure it doesn't have any mold on it. If it doesn't taste good or smell good, then you throw it out, right?
Throw it out to birds and chickens. Love it.
Yeah. Yeah, birds can
That's
eat bread, correct?
mhm. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Um, and the next one is check unit prices. Now, this one I'm not familiar with, so I'm going to read it to everybody out there so we can learn this together. If you don't know what a unit price is, you should. It's located on the shelf next to the price for the item and allows you to better compare sizes and different brands. Let's say you go through the cereal every week. It might make some sense to buy a bigger box, which will cost more at the time, but it's going to be cheaper per pound than the smaller box. Unit prices show the cost based on the weight, and smaller sizes cost more. Okay, now that's really important because a lot of we're going through a lot of stagflation, if you want to call it,
Mhm.
where if you look at the boxes, it's the same price, but the ounces are smaller.
Uh-huh. Yeah, because you used to find that like a 5 pound bag of sugar, now it's 4 pounds. And they
Right.
went up on the price and it's less. So you're getting, it's just, I mean, it's just a play on, oh, it's a play. But you know something, what I do, and I've been doing this for years, is I'll bring my phone with me, and phones have had calculators in them for years. So what I'll do is I'll look on the shelf, and if I see like a bigger, sometimes bigger's not the cheapest. They kind of play mind games with you sometimes.
Right.
So if you say something that's say like a gallon drink of something, then you say something that's like a pint. What you can do is get your calculator out, and then you'll get the ounces and then divide that by the price, and then you'll be able to choose it, per ounce. And that's where you're going to find the true savings.
Yeah, correct. And then it
Mhm.
says the next one on our little tips is rethink your protein. Now, this is number 5, so I know it won't be but just a few minutes. We'll be going to a quick break, but maybe we can get this one in, Donna, right quick. Rethinking your protein. Protein rich foods like meat, poultry, and seafood tend to be more expensive foods on your plates. But you can also go with some plant based proteins like beans and tofu. They're sometimes cheaper than meat. Trying a meatless meal every now and then or two might help you also save some money.
Mhm.
Choose less expensive cuts of meat. That can help. Choosing ground meats, top round steaks, chicken thighs versus breast. Also, another way of cutting cost. Since protein is pricey, you have the freezer space. It may make good sense to stock up when you see it's on sale. Then just freeze it and thaw it when you're ready to cook. You can also stretch your meat by blending in the vegetables and grains in with them, like burgers and casseroles. That's good, like meatloaf and hamburger helpers.
Mhm.
With proteins, it doesn't have to be all or nothing, but rather little things can help you save money over time. Now, on this one, Donna, me and you probably could talk a little bit on this one, but
We're going to talk on
because,
that, but let's go ahead and go into a commercial break. So it's about
okay,
time for that. We're a little bit early
okay,
in, but that because we were late in the last show. But I did want to mention one other thing in talking about rethinking your protein and the meat. We have a sponsor, and I folks Lone Tree Ranch, and Lone Tree Ranch is where we buy all of our beef. And what you can do is you can buy half the cow, or go in with a friend and maybe go in together and half it, and you get a quarter and they get a quarter of it, or you can buy the whole if you got room for it. But I'm gonna tell you what, if you'll buy from a local farmer like that, you're gonna find
hmm,
the meat lasts longer and it tastes better. So let's go
yep,
ahead and go into a commercial break. We're gonna be right back in just a minute. The only place I buy my beef is Lone Tree in Collinsville, Alabama. Their cattle is born and raised on their ranch, grass and grain fed, and you can feel confident when you serve your family and friends because their beef is all natural and no antibiotics or hormones are added. You can buy whole beef or perhaps go in with family or friends and buy half. Their customer service is number one as they take care of the delivery to their local processor and can deliver to your home for a small added fee. They also offer herd replacement heifers. I always call Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama for my beef specialty recipes and cookouts, and you can too. Food shortages are increasing, so buy local by calling 256 523 6462. That's 256 523 6462.
Hello, I'm Mike, and my employees, I want to thank each and every one of you for your continued support. With everything going on right now, your rest is so important. Having the biggest my pillows. Not only are my bed pillows as low as $19.98, but you can get the best body pillow for regular $9.98, now only $29.98. Take your rest on the go with our Roll and Go Anywhere My Pillows for only $14.98. And we have our new couch and accent pillows. They aren't just for looks. They have My Pillow patented adjustable fill that gives you that amazing My Pillow comfort. In this economy, you get the best gifts ever for the best prices ever. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code and you get deep discounts on body, couch, bolster pillows, and so much more, including my original bed pillows for as low as $19.98. Please order now while quantity lasts.
We're about to make your life just a little bit easier. Join Tony and April at Tony's Pizza and in Center and Cedar Bluff, Alabama. We have some hot and delicious pizzas and we'd like to bake one for you. We are home-owned, not a chain, and our pizzas are fresh, homemade with our made fresh daily. We have a full menu including fresh, never frozen wings, salad bars, suds, and much. In Center, we have a private dining area for birthday parties, meetings, and other events. We'll be waiting for you at 1820 East Bypass and Center, and in Cedar Bluff, 38 Alabama Highway 9. For your convenience, you can call in your order at our Center location, 256 New Pizza, or Cedar Bluff, 256-557-8651. And we enjoy making your life easier. Kathy and I love our sponsors. Thank you so much. We have the best sponsors, the absolute best listeners and watchers. And I'm going to tell you what, Kathy, uh, our something else. And if you would like to sponsor with us, it's real easy to do. All you've got to do is just get in contact with us. You can either get in contact with me or Kathy. Kathy's email address is Kathy with a C at icradio.media. And I'm Donna at icradio.media, or you can give us a call. My number is 256-659-4319. Kathy, what's your phone number?
256-453-1270.
There you go. So you get in contact with us. Now, we're wanting to save you some money, okay? So
yes,
what you got
okay.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about this article on Healthline, 10 ways to save money. Number 6, we've actually mentioned this quite a bit, Donna. Expiration dates. We've talked about that on several shows, actually. So let's back up to number 5 for a minute, because protein you can actually get from beans a lot. Pinto beans, you can make chili. So that requires less ground chuck or ground beef or ground round or hamburger, whatever kind of meat you use. So it's a good thing. Sometimes, a lot of people use the apps at the grocery stores, but a lot of times it's the best thing to go in the grocery store, because then you can actually see the meats that are on sale, and then you can stock up on things that are on sale, even though you may not need them necessarily, but it'll save on your food bill for the next month,
In the long run.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Absolutely. I'll tell you this about Albertville Foodland Plus. This is something else. I love apps because you can actually go in the store and use the app at the same time. So all you got to download the app, but because you're like, you have the app, you're going to get some extra deals that other people don't get.
Right.
So what you can do is click on it, and then you can also sort. like whatever their specials are. Well, here's something you can actually save 100% on. Would you like to save 100%? You can
Oh,
right here.
wow.
So this week, now you've got to buy at least $10 worth of groceries, and you'll get a free Betty Crocker cake mix. So, and then
Really?
so when you're checking out, what you do is you just click on it, and there'll be a little barcode, and as you're checking out, you just give this to the person who's checking you out, and then she's free. Last week, milk. I got a free.
That's not, my niece lives right practically down the road from you, Donna. And so
Gotta
she
go.
shops, I think, at Foodland, at this supermarket, same supermarket you shop at. And you can
Mhm.
find sales, of course, at any supermarket. So just pull up, download their apps or look at their weekly flyers. A lot of stores actually have like a weekly ad, but they run it like online so that they don't
Mhm.
spend the money putting them in your mailbox anymore. So
Check
it's
it
still
on
a good way
Facebook
to shop.
page where you can get some good deals. Facebook.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah. Number 7, shop your pantry and
Oh,
freezer.
you didn't do number 6. Know what the expiration dates are.
Well, that's the one I was talking about when we started talking about beans. I said we mentioned that a lot because actually a lot of things, like this article says, your grandmother who grew up during the Great Depression almost never threw away food. Uh,
True.
and and they say that one time they tried to get rid of yogurt because it was expired, but she quickly corrected the person that wrote this article and stuck it back in the refrigerator. And we've
Hmm.
talked about this on other shows. Now, there is one
Yeah, but
food. This is very imperative. One food that is imperative, you always go by the expiration date, and that is anything to do with baby food. Baby food,
baby
baby
formula.
formula. That's why it has expiration dates. It's not like a Best By date. It's actually an
Mhm.
expiration date. So I would never feed an infant or a child or a toddler anything that is expired. In other words, if the date's passed, you need to throw that away. Okay. But now a lot of things like canned goods that we adults, everybody eats, those are like basically what it's talking about. Look at your dates.
Mhm.
It's a Best By date, but sometimes it may not actually expire. It may still taste good. So, and you got to open it, smell it, taste of it. Whenever you open something, though, I know there's all kinds of
Use the
websites.
nose.
Huh? What?
Use the nose. The nose will tell you a lot.
Yes. And a lot of
Mhm.
times you can go to these websites and all, and they tell you about specific foods, how long they last past that Best By date or the expiration date.
Mhm.
That's a good source, and that's what you need to
Just
do.
be careful.
But yeah, don't trust dates necessarily, because sometimes I have actually opened products and they were already expired, and it
Mhm.
was 2 years from their expiration. It's just because maybe the way they were packaged or they were damaged before they made it
Mhm.
to the store. So you have to watch that on any
Well, and
product.
I can tell you something that I do. If I have something that has a good date on it and it's bad, I take it back to the grocery store. I'll take it
Yeah,
back and I'll say, or wherever you buy it, department store, whatever you do, and just and they'll let you. This is our hard money right here, and prices of things are going up really high, and you shouldn't have to pay for something that was done in production wrong, the
right.
wrong way. So I do
Yep,
that. There's another one is shop your pantry freezer.
right. Shop your pantry and freezer, because a lot of times you have food in there that you need to use. Because nobody likes to throw away food. That's just not good. There is too many starving people in the world. So if you've got a bag of broccoli and it's languishing in your freezer and you can't decide what to do with it, then you know what? Take that bag of frozen broccoli and turn it into a chicken broccoli casserole. You know, try to use the things that you have and then restock. So in other words, say this paycheck, you're going to take and use everything that's in your freezer first and then just add to it. So in other words, if you have 2 packs of ground chuck in there, but you don't have anything in your pantry to use and you want to be cost effective and you're not watching calories. Now, okay, there's a flip side. If you're watching calories, you might want to do a chicken broccoli casserole, which is lower in calories probably than hamburger helper. Beef stroganoff that you can use for your ground chuck, so you could use something for your chicken and your ground chuck. Now, those are just some ideas. Those actually feed a lot of people. So if you have like 4 or 5 kids, then that's actually a good thing to do. All right, Donna, what's the next?
Kathy, we're going to move right on because we've got about 2.5 minutes left.
We're almost to the end.
Yeah, I want to go to buying bulk when it makes sense. And we've touched on this some, but sometimes that's the smartest thing to do. And your big box stores will allow you to do that. But if I buy in bulk, and let's say like chicken is on sale, chicken tenders or breast or whatever's on sale,
Right.
I like to divide mine up because if you stick that whole thing in the freezer, it's going to take you forever to undo it. To get some good freezer bags, one thing I will spend good freezer bags. So divide all that stuff up and put it in your freezer, and then you won't have to thaw out the entire family pack that you bought. And then talk about switching your stores. Sometimes you got about a minute and 30 seconds left.
Yes, switch your stores because sometimes this may not be convenience, but if their sales are better, it's worth a little bit of a drive, especially now that gas has gone back down. So now gas has come down a little bit. So not much, but a hair, right? And then that goes along with number 10, rethink convenience, okay? Think pre-cut produce or sauces that are already made and ready for use because sometimes those can save you some money as well.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, these are all money-saving tips for you. And again, you can find this on this really, really good website. It's healthline.com. Healthline.com. But there's so many ways and if you have some tips for us and any ideas you would like for us to use on the show, please send an email. Let us know. Donna at IC is in Christ radio.media. Same deal with Cathy. Cathy with a C, CATHY at icradio.media. So we appreciate your input on that as well. Less than 30 seconds. Thank you so much.
It's time to go. I enjoyed it. Save your money. Save those.
Yes.
Save your change when you come in every day. Okay, guys.
Another quick money that you put in a savings account and you can watch it grow. So I mean that's a good. Cathy, we're gonna have to call it quits. We'll be right back to you with a very awesome show. You take care, okay?